Today's stop loss cluster video for the 18th of March 2021 for the QuasiDP service. We'll start with gold because we put out the technical chart on the daily. If you saw yesterday's, I just did a recap for today. And we're in a downtrend, and we actually broke the hourly support as well here, as you can see on the auto chartist. So there's that channel break. We are a sell on the sentiment, and it's them guys going long. Okay, so the average line is going long. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the MyFX, but they're going long as well. So I think the bubble's a bit slow to react to the data. So, but we're below monthly pivot, and the moving average trend's bearish in all time frames, apart from the 1 minute. But that just flashed to bearish, so it's looking good for a short. It's suggesting there's some support at 17.19, which is $10 away. Below that, we can target, well, there's a node here, there's a stack, that could be a support, and there's actually a technical support at 1691, but it fell below 1700, and then they really rushed in, and they shorted it in a big way, so I think it could happen again. They saw the 1700, and it was like moths to a flame, around about here. They saw as, oh, it must be a good short because we're below the psychological round number. This is where they sold it, and look what happened. It just rallied. So it could happen again. The retail guys will get involved when it's below 1700, so something to bear in mind. But yeah, the signal's saying to sell, so it's going to be interesting. S&P on the hourly. The point of control, the level of interest for this session here, is 3968, and the one below, if you remember, Valentine's Day support. So I said yesterday this could come into play. The reason for it is that if you look left, there isn't any resistance. By hitting this one, then we'll have some resistance, you see. So if we rallied, we wouldn't have anywhere to sort of target. If we come down here, we can target that, you see. And then so it does zigzag, and then we can create a new high, and then it can fall, and then we'll have some resistance to target. At the moment, we don't have anything to target because, you know, it's, you want a TP and SL using risk management, but we can't really predict where it's going to go from a volume perspective. So keep an eye on those two levels, and there is a little bit of a narrative that could be impacting this with the US-China talks. Apparently, China aren't too happy about Hong Kong, and see what Biden says. So it could be a bit confrontational over the weekend, and this could fall. But if it does, it's only going to be a buying opportunity anyway. But we did rally a ridiculous amount, so we can retrace a little bit, pull back, and then we can buy. But hopefully that logic's clear. By falling, we can target resistance and then TP. So hopefully that's okay. AJ, the SLC was taken out, as you guys were aware on the chat. The one above is 85.52, and the new one is 84.68. This line here is MR1, I think. Yeah, MR1. So that did come into as a support. We are a buy, and it's a bit sideways. Signal saying to wait. So it's acted as a good support, the monthly resistance. So that level, if you're trading this pair, is 84.84. So it's dead easy to remember. AU. Again, we took the SLC out. The one below, it didn't really reduce in size, actually. It looks like they've moved them. They've moved their stops, which probably is going to be likely to happen. We might target that if we break monthly pivot at 77.58. If we're below that, we're going to be technically bearish, and then we can target the SLC. So I don't know if that's going to be a wise move, especially if we go below monthly pivot. SLC above is 78.49. It's looking quite heavy. The signal saying to sell, sentiment saying to buy. There's some guys going long, so that would be bearish. If they continue, we'll come down. EA, I've been trading this one with micro lots. It's been quite good actually, because it does move. It's quite volatile. So if you can time it right, you can make some good profits on this one. So I sold that rip on the Fed. I didn't actually expect it to fall so much, and I locked in my profit. It's going quite well. SLC above 154.75 and 152.35. signal saying to buy, the sentiment saying to sell. So there's a mismatch. I will be out, I think, by the end of today, and I want tomorrow off because it's been a roller coaster week. It's been ridiculous. EU, this fall in is going to help EA, logically. 119, 119.90, and one below 118.79. It's looking pretty bearish. Signals sell, MACD's sell, parabolics are is sell, and we're a sell on the sentiment. They're buying the dip, and that's going to be tricky for those guys. This is your monthly support one at 119.36. That needs it to hold because your next target is MS2 down here at 117.98. So assuming we get a big risk off story develop in China and Hong Kong and US, this could fall and the dollar could strengthen. So potentially we'll come down here by the end of the month, but we'll wait and see. GU, we had the BOE today. We took out the SLC. 13928 hasn't populated the new one. As you can see, we did definitely take it. There's that naughty wick there, 10 pip wick. Wick below the SLC. The SLC above is 1.4009. It's just above 1.4. It's quite old and it's quite large. We are a buy, but the signal's saying to sell. And obviously this is going to be impacted with any risk off narrative too. NU, taking out the SLC. There's your monthly pivot, so that's your bias. Actually, where is GU's monthly pivot? There. That's going to be of interest for you guys if you're trading this at 139.09. Rates below, then it's going to be technically bearish. NU, the SLC below was 72.07 and the SLC above is 72.69. Very bearish. Signal saying to sell. Moving average is trending downwards, and it's a buy, so there's a mismatch there. So it's them guys going long. So dynamically, it's bearish, but we need to cross the 50% line there. EJ, there's your monthly resistance 13034. We haven't been able to really sustain above. One above 13064, one below 12945. Moving average trend is bearish in all time frames, but from the daily, possibly ticking up in the 1 minute. So we might be seeing a little reversal here. We are a buy, but they're going long. So yeah, could potentially fall. Depends what they do. All depends on the retail guys. Give us a big heads up. Pound yen above 152.59. It's far away, 15074, and it's chopping around on the 5 minute time frame. Some resistance here, some supply. There's that high, there's that high. We tried to break above, but then we had like a double top. Yeah, near enough exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly. Yeah, so that level's important, and you can see why they got their stops because it's above, that double top. So, yeah, we're a buy here, but the signal saying to wait. Dollar yen, 109.40, 108.50. We're a buy. My Facebook guys are getting very skewed. Yeah, so that's them there, that orange line down there. They're actually, they tend to lead the pack, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. The average trend is ticking south just a tiny little bit, and that could be bullish because we already are a buy, but if they sell it, then it just adds to that confluence. Dollar CAD, it's a big trend line we're going to test. That level of interest is going to be 24.66. It coincides with some resistance here, so potentially hit that and then fall. Signal saying to buy, sentiment saying to sell. It's quite old, 246 hours old, so yeah, 10 days. So yeah, it's going to be quite a formidable resistance, I think. And keep an eye on oil. There's your monthly support as well. Because we're below that, we can target the MS2, 122.8. $87. Dollar Swiss. I'm glad I'm out of this one. It did have a big U-turn. It's just really hard to trade this one sometimes. Um, the average line is actually there, that white line there. They're selling it on average, so that will bring price up. The SLC above is 192, actually 93 on the dot. One below is 92.09. There's 100 pips between the two. I think that's it. Gold uncovered. It's good it's fallen because I've been selling this, so that's good. I need it to fall. I think my break even 17.19. Yeah, so I have to wait and see. But the signal was sent to sell and the sentiment, so that is an agreement. So hopefully you saw the daily chart that I posted and the hourly chart that I posted as well. That auto chartist is really good. So get a copy of that if you can, and get a copy of the SLC indicators from FX SSI. Use the QuasiDB code and you get a 70% discount. Wrap up now. Hope you have a good day. I'm going to be taking it easy tomorrow because it's been a roller coaster and signals have been a bit hit and miss. We had a good trade and two small losses on pound USD and euro USD. The good trade was the Aussie USD. But it's been a very volatile week, so it's not too bad. And fingers crossed that we get some semblance of normality next week. But I think we need to get these stops out because it's very skewed, and it has been for ages. If you saw my video yesterday, I was saying how we needed to take stops out because it was so lackluster. And now we're finally moving, and the retail guys are getting shaken, and that's what we need for price to perform normally. So I'll wrap up now. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.